Good morning, guys. It is April 9th today. There's some frost on the ground. It's also -8, right, Lee?
Yes, I'm wearing my thermal trousers.
Yeah, it's -8 Celsius out here. Lee's hopping on the 1050 this morning. Hopping on the deer. Hopefully these things start okay. Oh, they'll start. Look at the frost on my windows. Look at this. Perfect. We're gonna let these things have a really nice warm up. Gonna turn on my heated seat here. And we're gonna do a little walk around. Mike, if it's -8 Celsius, what are you doing out there seeding, buddy? Well, that's actually a really good question. Well, it's seeding time. We gotta go. We only started a few days ago, but we're already 5 days behind. Every farmer's like, as soon as they get going, they're automatically, holy crap, we gotta go, we're 5 days behind. They only started 2 days ago, but you're 5 days behind. So that's just welcome to farming. This is grease morning, but you know what? It's quite chilly out here, and the grease is quite thick because it's even in my cab. That's where I keep my grease. It's still -8. So we're gonna wait until it warms up. Mike, when's it gonna warm up, buddy? It's supposed to get up to +12 today. That's when we'll grease, okay? Not gonna grease right now. Right now, all we're doing is just checking all the lug nuts, checking to make sure we're all still on setting 7. No wheels have fell off. They're not dragging any barbed wire. Checking all of our bearings. Checking all the main hoses, make sure they're not broken. Checking for fertilizer and seed on the main frame. That would tell you that there's a leak. You like my tape I got right there? Yeah, that hose snapped in half. I'm a little worried about some of these hoses right now. I got to change them after this season. But, you know, I'm like, I can get another season out of them because they're not cheap to keep putting hoses on, right? So, but it's -8. And we're going to go seed and we're going to go up and down with them. This is when they're going to snap, you guys. I really hope they don't. But if they're going to snap, they're going to snap this morning. If you want to check out the cart, everything looks okay. Basically, you're just looking for anything that could be broken, hanging off, any seed or fertilizer laying on the ground, tell you that there's a leak. Tires are squatty because the cart is loaded. Checking the lug nuts, yep. Bearings, yep. That's just lentils, don't worry about that. Checking for hoses. My hand's cold holding my phone. You're also checking to make sure no hoses popped out. That can also happen. This is what we call a weed or a carcass of a weed. Mike, what the crap is that? Well, back in the day, we used to have cows. So we actually trenched water to a lot of our land. No, not water that we can irrigate off of. Good question, though. Just water that we can water off of. Just enough to give that hydrant flow. But we no longer have cows. Well, Mike, what are you going to do with it? We're going to keep it. You never know. We could set up some water tanks here if we wanted to. Grab a garden hose, put a float at the top so it has an automatic shut off, and run it off the hydrant if we wanted to. We won't do anything with it. Whew. Well, Mike, if it's -8, are you even going to get into the ground? Oh, yeah, we're going to get in the ground. You know why? Because there ain't no moisture there, you guys. It's as dry. It is drier than a popcorn fart. This is what we're seeding into. Okay? It's drier than a popcorn fart. All right, guys. I'm going to go warm up. I mean warm up. I mean I'm going to go back to the tractor. My heated seat hopefully is going to have some heat in it. The cab will not be warm. That's okay. I actually put on my winter clothes again. My insulated winter clothes. We're fired up our fans here. We're just trying to cycle them. get that oil, because that oil is a little thick right now, so we're just trying to thin that oil out, warm it up. Then we're gonna go do a crank test or a seed test, whatever you want to call it, here in probably 5 minutes. Now let's go and do a crank test. In case you're just joining us and you don't know what that is, that is when you have both the fans on. You have 2 fans back there. One to carry your fertilizer, one to carry your seed and the fertilizer you put with the seed. Basically, you got your mid-row fan and your seed fans. So, we're just gonna go and make sure nothing's plugged anywhere. Mike, wouldn't you have sensors that tell you that? We would have sensors that tell us if a whole tower plugged, so like 8 runs, but not if just one individual one did. Metering out right now. There we go. Lots of product coming out, that's what I want to see. So we start here, we got Derm, we got some Foss, okay. So then I go, there's 2 here, 3 in a row here, 3 in a row, you got the idea. So I just kind of go along. We kind of got to do this quickly. You don't want to take forever doing all this all the time. You never get anything done. Okay, then we're gonna go underneath the hitch over here. Sorry, I'm not trying to make you sick. Whew, she's cold. Cannot believe I'm seeding right now. That, like, oh, how warm is the ground? Great question. Have no idea. Can't sit on it yet with my bare bottom, so I think it's still a little chilly. Mike, is that a thing that you sit on it with your bare bottom? It actually was a thing in the old timers, or when the frogs are croaking. Frogs aren't croaking yet, but the meadowlarks are back, so that's gotta basically mean spring. So we're good on the seed. Now we're checking the mid-row banders. This is where we put down the majority of our nitrogen and sulfur. Whew. Gotta be a little more careful climbing up on stuff this morning because it's frosty. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. You guys can't see, but I can kind of see. While you're up here, just make sure you don't have any lines broke off. That's my biggest concern right now, because these lines are going to go up and down with my openers. Hopefully I don't snap any. So far so good, so far so good, so far so good. Okay guys, I think we got this figured. We're going to go and sit in the tractor, wait for another bar or 2 to warm up. And we're gonna go see. Guys, look how warm our engine is. It's hot over here. We're ready to rock and roll. It's go time. We always like to make sure we give everything good warm-ups around here. Good warm-ups, good cool-downs. And we're warmed up. And away we go. Oh, the oil's cold in there. All my mid-rows are taking a long time to get down. Some of those outsides still aren't down. Still going down. Well, Mike, were you cycling hydraulics while you were warming up? Yes, I was. Good question, though. There, now they're down. Alright. Oh. Back my pressure down over here. There we go. Wide open, you guys. Not a slew to go around. Like, it's literally just up and back, 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 up and back. And after about, I don't know, 6 hours, you're like, holy crap, I actually have to go around the slough. That's abnormal for us. This was the same field last year where I got stuck, Jared got stuck, Ashtyn got stuck, all seeding. And then Mark got stuck with the Amazon sprayer down on another field. We had 4 stucks in the matter of, I want to say it was 24 hours, but it wasn't, because we got stuck in the evening, he got stuck at late at night. So 4 stucks, you guys, in 12 hours. This was the field. This here See that? That's what we call a slough because it held water last year. No, it's not a dugout. It's just a slough. It's just a place where all the water runs. It's just a dead area. I got stuck here, and there's quite a few of these. And this was full of water last year. Now we're going right on through it. Pretty cool, eh? Wow. It's cool that we can go through it, but it's also not so cool that it's, you know, crazy dry. But anyways, yeah. See how the frost is glistening off the ground? As I drop my phone out there. This here, big slough actually held water. That's where Ashtyn got stuck those ruts last spring. And it was so wet that we couldn't, even in the fall we were trying to work them down. But now look at it. Now we can come out and work it. Mike, why didn't you come out and work it? Because the rototill actually really dries out the ground. It's like a giant rototiller, right? Packs it back down, yeah, but it still dries it out. And right now we don't have any moisture to spare. Hey guys, it's now middle of the afternoon. It's a lot windier, but it is at least warmer. It's about 10 degrees out now. So I'm like, I will do my greasing now. So you guys know Susie. No, this is not Susie. Susie is my Milwaukee half-inch impact. This is Sally, Susie's cousin. Third cousin though, third cousin. Anyways, I just want to show you what I'm going to grease. I'm going to grease up all these main pins. Over here, any main pulling pin we're going to grease up. There's main pulling pins on here and then also on the cart as well. Now there is grease nipples on all these mid-row banders. There's about 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 pivoting points, not counting the bearing on the actual hub itself. We're not going to grease these yet, but they're only about another day or so away from being greased. I like to make sure everything is well greased. There's Ashtyn, she's now taking over the 1050. Yeah, warm, right, warm. It's so warm. Anyway, I'm just gonna get greasing. So while we're greasing, we noticed that we actually had a pin pop out. That's actually pretty common. So basically I'll show you on this one. Is these little cotter pins. They actually wear out and they fall out. Maybe I can show you a better one on this one. Here we go. Now there has been an update. Borgo did do an update since these ones, but they just kind of get worn and then the pin falls out and then this one works itself out. It can't work itself out when it's like this, when it's in the ground, but when it's up it sure can. So we're gonna have to, and you're like, well Mike, why don't you just put a new pin in? And well, you can't because since it's so spread. See how tight these are? Like on a perfectly brand new one, you can barely put the cotter pin in.
Why don't you just press it back?
Great question. I have tried to press that back, but you're not going to press that back without taking it to a vise or something, in which case we do not have out in the field. So we're just going to pop these 2 hydraulic lines off. I lowered the drill down to the ground. If you did not lower the drill down to the ground, great question. As soon as you pop those hydraulic hoses off, the drill would very much go down to the ground, and as well as about probably 2 buckets of oil would go up this way, and since the wind's coming this way, oil would go way up over there. Okay, so we're gonna grab some tools here. We're gonna have to take one of Ashtyn's cylinders because mine has already been used.
I feel used.
Wait, I can't take your cylinder?
Day 3 and you've already taken my hammer. You've taken my wire snippers.
Okay,
now
the wire
you're taking
snippers
my
is because of barbed wire. The barbed wire
and
wrapped
now
up.
you're taking my cylinders. What else do you want?
Just one cylinder. I just want one cylinder, that's all.
It's gonna be a hurting unit over here.
The reason why is because my cylinder is, like, the cylinder's fine. You just gotta fix this, bend it back, spread it back. But we can't do that out in the field, so we're just gotta take these tees off. Tees typically come off pretty easy. Oh. Try not to drop them into the dirt. Really no good clean place to put these. Looks like the nice clean tire is about as good as we're gonna get. And I gotta take this one off. Okay, so I got these fittings out. Here, I'll just... So in order for this pin to come out, I have to elevate this cylinder up. For me to elevate the cylinder up, I need to push the cylinder in, and by doing so, oil is obviously going to come out of these ports. It has to. I'm going to give the camera back to Ashtyn. Whoa! Oh!
You're just getting your drill dirty.
Okay, it's in. There we go. We got the pin out. I'll just put that in my pocket. Now I can pop the pin, this pin. Okay, so this cylinder's fine. I just gotta squeeze that back together at the shop. I'm gonna put this right here. Try and do this in as much as you can as a dust-free environment. I'm gonna put these plugs in that cylinder right now. Take them out of this one. Actually, I'm just gonna loosen these off. I'll put this one on right now. Just knock a little bit of dust in. Thank you for the cylinder, hun.
I want a new one. I don't want this
Well, I was
rebuilt
gonna
thing.
give you the one that I fixed back. You don't want that? Or...
No.
Okay, so then just put this pin in here like this. Something's wrong. That's because this is a different size pin. So Borgo makes this so you can't use the same pin. So this is a smaller pin. This is a fat pin. Took me a little while to figure that out one time. Don't want to say how long. So there we go. I'll throw a little cotter pin in there. Use a new one because we can. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to pull it down once I release take these plugs out. So Mike, how often would you have to do something like this? Surprisingly, quite often. I think Jared's already had 1 or 2 go on him. Terry maybe 1. And me, this is the first one this season.
I've never had one go yet.
Really?
And this is my 3rd year. Talk about they're all gonna go at once.
Pull this puppy out. Let's see. Here, I just gotta move over here for a second. Oh. Whoa!
Oh.
Well, that came. Right. We're done. Everything is A-okay. New cylinder in place. It's pretty common. So you guys have yourself a good one. We gotta get back to work, Ashtyn and I. We gotta finish this and get seeding. That's the most important part. Adios, amigos.